Skip tweeted something, and although I disagree with the tweet, and hopefully Skip would take it down, but I didn't want it.
Well, time out. I'm not going to take it down because I stand by what I tweeted.
Skip, let me finish.
All right. Okay.
Go ahead.
God forbid, let's say this young man passes away. You can't say condolences. You can't give blessings because you didn't care. The time that you posted that, it was insensitive and ill-timed.
The timing was
Hear me out. I know you're going to ridicule me. You're going to probably edit that, and that's going to be the thing that you want to hear. What he said was okay. It was ill-timed.
Hold on. What did he say?
And highly insensitive.
It's the first tweet at the top.
Well, let's go ahead and read the tweet first. So we got, no doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of the season. How this late in the season of a game of this magnitude, regular season outcome, which suddenly seems
so irrelevant. He walked it back with that last statement.
So, and he had a couple other tweets, and he seemed to try to walk it back towards the end. I think I'm gonna let you, since I just read it. I did hear what you want to say. I want to hear more of what you was about to say.
It's insensitive in the aspect of and ill-timed because at that time we didn't know his status. In 100%. My mind, at that time,
100%.
At that time, a man had passed away, and you're worried about a fucking game. And I understand the magnitude. I understand it. It's a very, very high implication. This is the first seed we're talking about, and it's damn near a three-way tie. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I understand the magnitude of what you were saying. It was ill-timed in the aspect of it was too immediate. We have no response, no medical update or condition of the person that caused the stoppage of the game. So in my mind, in my eyes, you didn't care about him. You didn't care about Damar at all. You didn't care, and I say it that way because, if let's just, God forbid, knock on wood, because obviously we're not in the clear, but there's great news, right? God forbid, let's say this young man passes away. You can't say condolences. You can't give blessings because you didn't care. The time that you posted that, it was insensitive and ill-timed.
The timing was insensitive.
The timing was the insensitive part.
I agree with I think he definitely I think the timing was very insensitive. I think if you look at the words that he says, I mean, I think we came to those discussions where this is a big game. Mm-hmm. Are they going to have the game or not? He just said it before it needed to be said.
Right.
He said it that night.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
That night.
He said it. No, it was like during.
Right after the game, like right as it
No. During during the suspension part. This is during while the fans are still in the stadium.
Right.
Yeah.
Fresh.
Yeah.
He wanted
is
to be
when he tweeted.
He wanted to be the first one to have, I guess, get kudos for stating the obvious. No, duh, Captain Obvious. We know. Like, we ain't worried about that right now. We're worried about the health of somebody, and you over here worried about what the fuck is going to happen with the score of the game.
Agreed. No, you right on that. I agree. When you read the tweet, I think everyone's reaction to it is the reaction took on its own type of character because everybody just wanted to find somebody to blame. Everybody was angry. Everybody's upset, and I did see everybody just kind of jumping on Skip Bayless, not saying it wasn't deserving.
Right.
But when you read it, you're like, it doesn't come off like.
Right.
I didn't get it where it came off like where he just didn't give a damn. What it came off as is like, dude, where's your mind at in this moment right now?
Right.
And the one thing about Twitter, it's putting your thoughts time-stamped. Like, and so you can timestamp what he was thinking because that's how Twitter is designed. And I'm not a person who uses Twitter. Like, I'm just not. Like, I don't use it, but I do understand its formula and what it does. And people be posting tweets all the time.
Bro,
Skeletons.
Hit the nail on the... Bro, have you seen some of the people we know that are on there? I can tell when they're fighting with their significant other.
Right.
I can tell when they're... And if you want to know how someone feels...
Shit, when they had makeup sex.
Yeah, exactly.
The tweet right after.
Like, when
you thought the
know,
breakup was happening.
Bro, Twitter is this crazy. I don't know what's up with people's mental. But it's like
time.
Whenever something happens to them, they have to post it. This is what's going on in my life. It's the most weirdest immature shit I've ever seen. I'm just like, I see so many people. I'm like, why are you letting us know your business? Like, this is crazy. It's
Like
cool
you
though.
on the porno.
I'll be honest with you. So
No, I wouldn't. I didn't tweet it.
So, for example, like I think it's hilarious because for entertainment purposes, I understand why somebody like Skip Bayless or a celebrity, a media personality, somebody like them are trying to stay relevant. There's a money thing with that. There's a attention thing.
Regular people,
like bro, I don't.
Nobody be looking at their comments. They just be posted like how they feel.
Not even having a in-person interaction with you. I should not know the inner workings of your relationship via Twitter.
That's that Gen Z shit.
Let's just be clear.
That's that
I should not
Z
know. I should not know basically the love languages of your relationship.
Yeah.
I should not.
That's just crazy.
But that's the point. It is a real life timestamp, and it does highlight someone like Skip,
man.
where his mind was at the moment where Damar Hamlin's life was in the balance.
Mm-hmm.
And so you spoke to it perfectly. Timing. Because they've talked about what Skip kind of question he raised. I would say, I think it was today. They really started maybe yesterday, kind of coming in today as far as sports media, kind of like, okay, what are we doing? But that was after that there was a positive trajectory of where Damar Hamlin's health condition was. It was starting to get a little bit better. Like, they kept hearing good news. His uncle came out and started, posting some updates that he was moving in a positive direction. The doctors came out and gave their diagnosis and their update on his health condition. So it kind of opened up the door to feel a little bit more free to kind of talk about these things because you felt like Damar was on a good path.
Right.
But Skip, that's the part where I think people thought that he didn't give a damn because his was in the balance. You did, in all honesty, you didn't, for the first time ever, we did not know if someone was going to have passed being on the football field, which has never happened.
The aura felt.
That was such an eerie thing to see and witness, and I think that's where the insensitivity part comes in for somebody like Skip. Now, who in there watches Fox Sport 1 Undisputed, the show that Skip is on?
I've seen
a
what
few
happened.
times.
Who watches the show?
I've seen.
I watch it.
I've seen it.
I
Yeah,
watch
you've
it probably
seen
a few times a week if I can make it through.
Well, I mean, Shannon's my guy. He always got the yak on, on set, with the yak and the black mouth. That's my dog right there. Let's go.
Bro, that's the first time I ever seen somebody. You got to shout out to Shannon. That's the
With
first
you,
dude that
baby,
wore a do rag and had some Hennessy with some grape Optimos on stage. Shout out to Shannon.
Facts.
But we got to speak about it. He was absent
Yeah, he was.
for that show.
For a reason, though.
And
What was the reason though? Like Warren, dive into. I mean, obviously we know the reason. He mentioned it the day after, but did you in the moment when when Skip said his comment, the next morning Shannon wasn't on the show? What was your thoughts?
I thought it was definitely for what Skip had said. I mean, because if you watch, I think we're about to play the clip here, but it's very emotionally charged. You know what I mean? If you look at Shannon, I mean, you could tell in Shannon's eyes, Shannon wasn't playing.
Right.
He wasn't playing with Skip, and I mean,
well, he was emotionally affected because of Damar's condition. Because he's a football player, he felt like it's a brotherhood,
right?
With him.
And I mean, as you've seen, like as he was addressing Skip, it's like he told him, like, dude, like let's play.
That is Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe, guys. Good to see you, Shannon. I understand you have something you want to share this morning.
Good morning. Yes.
Morning.
There's been a lot of speculation of why I wasn't on air yesterday, and I won't get into speculation window, but I will say this. In watching that game on Monday night, what happened to Damar Hamlin struck me a little different. As a brotherhood in the NFL, when injuries happen, when we know injuries are a part of the game, I've seen guys suffer ACLs and Achilles tear, but I've never seen anybody have to be revived and fight for their life on the field. So it struck me a little differently because I remember seeing my brother paralyzed on the field temporarily, and he was able to regain focus. Skip tweeted something, and although I disagree with the tweet, and hopefully Skip would take it down, but I didn't want it.
Well, time out. I'm not going to take it down because I stand by what I tweeted.
Skip, let me
Okay.
finish.
All right. Okay.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
Go ahead. Let's go, Jen.
Okay.
I mean, I cannot even get through a monologue without you interrupting me.
Well,
you could have came back. Skip,
well, I thought-
Skip, just let.
I didn't know you were gonna
He was
say
done.
I was just going to
Shannon
say,
was done.
No,
I
Skip.
didn't
I mean,
want
Shannon
to
ain't go ahead.
yesterday
Yeah.
to be
Pause it,
into a
bro.
situation where Damar Hamlin was the issue. We should have been talking about him and not get into your tweet. That's what I was going to do. But you can't even let me finish my opening monologue without you interrupting.
Okay. I was under the impression you weren't going to bring this up because nobody here had a problem with that tweet.
No, clearly the bosses wanted you to offer explanation. So clearly, somebody.
No, they
had a
did
problem.
not have. Nobody.
Let's go, Jen.
He pissed. He hot. You can tell it. He like, shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up, Skip.
I don't think he wanted to do the show.
He didn't want to talk to him.
It's
So this is another question. Is there going to be another show?
So let's give a little bit of backstory. Let's give a little bit of backstory for this. So just in all honesty, outside of Damar Hamlin, unfortunately, this situation has sparked up more tension between these two, especially with Skip's tweet. But their relationship has been a little bit tumultuous lately.
Well, what is that? I don't know that word, tumultuous.
I know, right? He'd be coming up with these
Hold on,
goddamn
nigga.
school book words and shit. I'm like, bro,
Oh,
what
he
you do?
said a
Study
school
the
word.
dictionary before you come down?
Tumultuous.
Tumultuous.
But
Yeah,
honestly,
it's basic. No, but it's basically. So I'm just gonna give you a little bit of insight on that. I'm gonna give you a little insight on that. So these guys, I would say, it was either last week. It was the game after. I'm sorry. We were the cause of it because the Niners put a hurting down on Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. And basically, Skip is a huge Tom Brady supporter. Okay, like unapologetically Tom Brady supporter. And Skip and Shannon is kind of more on the side of like he thinks Tom Brady's great quarterback, but he feels like he's not what he used to be, and he says he still needs to be held accountable to level of play, that type of thing. And they basically had a back and forth in which Skip took a shot at Shannon at his career. Shannon is a 3-time Super Bowl champion and a Hall of Famer, one of the best tight ends to ever play the game.
right.
And they were going at it. It was a debate, and they going back and forth. And
Playing at a high level at 45 when you had to stop at 35.
Skip, that's what you do.
That's the point.
That's what you do. Every time I call something into question, I'm jealous.
No.
Skip, I did what I did.
never said you were jealous of Baker Mayfield.
Skip, I did what I did. You make it seem like I was a bum. I'm in the effing Hall of Fame.
Okay,
I got 3 Super Bowls.
So what?
So what?
He's way better than you were.
I'm better than you.
Better.
Skip, what I got to see what you do? You take personal shots.
No,
for
I don't take
Skip,
personal
hold on,
shots.
time
You
out,
started it.
Time out. You would take a personal shot at me.
I didn't take a personal
time
shot
out.
at you.
Wait a minute.
What are you talking about?
You would take a personal.
Put your
hold on.
glasses back on.
Can I finish? You're willing to take a personal shot at me to say this man is better than me because I say he's playing bad this year?
Well, because you
Go ahead.
you disrespect him. It's
Go
just
ahead.
so.
So you
know what? It's beneath your
You would
dignity.
disrespect me to support him.
No.
so this has already been a little bit of a rocky situation between these two. And a lot of people, if you listen to a lot of the media or listen to anyone that actually covers this on a regular basis, because we ain't necessarily a sports show, but there's more podcasts out there that do this on a regular. And they've been talking about that that was one of the indications of a split. Like this, there might be going somewhere because Shannon's got his podcast club, Shay Shay, that's doing real well. He may not necessarily need this, So I feel like this. I definitely think Shannon's frustration is still built up from that situation, and this just made it over the top. I just want to be clear too. Skip just lied. I don't know if anybody knows. Skip lied.
What do you mean?
On that video that just happened.
What do you mean? What did he lie about?
So Shannon said something very specific about the producers saying that he needed to address his tweet.
Oh, okay, right.
They absolutely did because, and so if you go to the episode before this, so this is the show that happened the next morning after Damar Hamlin's injury.
Right.
So we talking about Tuesday morning when the show comes on. Skip actually said that the producers told him, hey, you've been getting a lot of activity and comments about that tweet you put out. You might need to address that.
And then came my third tweet, which I believe was widely misconstrued, misinterpreted. I don't follow what's happening on Twitter. I just tweet. But my boss here at Fox called and said, hey, people are really reacting strongly to your tweet. Maybe you should clarify, which I immediately did.
And then when Shannon calls him out on it right now, he tries to walk it back like he didn't say it. So Skip is on some bullshit right now.
You want to know what's funny? He is on some bullshit. And, no one's really thinking about it, but wasn't Skip on with Stephen A? Wasn't it the Stephen A and Skip?
Yeah.
And then
he was on ESPN.
Then they got a divorce, right?
Yeah,
and then
that
they had
was contractual. Though.
Common denominator.
Oh, it wasn't beef.
They were very tumultuous.
Well, I think they have beef now.
No, it was the bag for Skip.
Yeah,
he got a fat bag from F.
Because I believe
Fox.
at the beginning of last year there was some type of beef going on with Stephen A. Or Stephen A. said something about Skip, and Stephen A's with ESPN and Skip's with Fox,
right?
And Stephen A. said something about Skip about another pretty much. I mean, what do they call him? A TV personality.
Right.
He said something about another TV personality on another network, and Skip. I think he came out and he addressed it. He was on set by himself, and he spoke about it. I forgot what happened though, because this was like a year ago. But I think now they're not where they used to be. So,
so my thing is it Skip? The Skip got to go. Undisputed held on to the wrong star. Like you have another guy, Shannon, who ain't done nothing but brought y'all good highlights. And a great argument, a great conversation, right? Someone who can deal with him, right? Shannon ain't dealing with him no more. You can see it in his face. And that's why I say it's interesting. Obviously, it's 2 days later. I'm not sure what they're talking about now, but is there going to be some future beef that we're going to see out of this show? And what's going to happen?
People got to understand, Skip is 70-something years old. It's hard to change an old person's mind, man. Let's just call it what it is.
They know
like they've been living here for that long, 7 decades, man. That's a long time to get somebody to change who they are and what they want to say, especially when they think they right.
Right.
So for somebody like him, and he in the industry that he's in, the reason why he's able to say what he says is because it does get ratings. We talking about it right now, and a lot of people is tuning in. So as long as those ratings are picking up, they gonna keep him on.